Yes,
And
yes.
for Florence, good morning.
Yes, and we have Florence Oladotuamo joining us over the phone. Good morning, Florence.
Good morning, Esther. Good
Yes.
morning, Jinabo. Good morning, Buki. Good morning, everyone.
Yes, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
All
and
right.
I believe you are all fine too.
Yes, we are doing great. We're looking very, very good. It's a Friday, the Friday feeling.
Whatever it is you're sharing, Esther, is for us in the studio.
Florence, that goes to say, who not there around? Just like when you go to the party, they tell you, oh, Wakara or Jesemo. In other words, you are not in this party.
No, it's an Wankara. Oh, Badiye.
Oh, that's true. Talking about Adie, so I saw this video clip of some people that went
started something that we cannot finish till this morning. No?
Wait, so I saw that video clip. Some people give them like chicken as souvenir. Like, oh, why are you giving something that has life to take home? Why? For a party?
Another time, it's
a choice. It's a choice. People are tired of plastics.
Well,
all those things.
Well,
and then chicken at that time, not even in the car park when you are going. Right where you are eating, and then they'll be pooing and the whole thing. And I beg,
there are packages. And
there are packages.
Well, there are levels to this thing.
Package it, you create a hole for the chicken to break. Then you put it in a bag for the chicken to.
They didn't do all that.
They didn't do all of that. They didn't do all of that. Yes, I saw that.
They want show.
You know a video. Bunch of plantain being shared.
I've seen tomato and pepper too.
No, that one is.
I've seen that one too.
Are you talking fresh?
Yeah, fresh. Oh.
No food now.
Fresh. I've seen that one.
No food now. So.
Well, it's all good. Feel free to join the conversation. Call us up on 07000 917 917 or 090 256 25455. You can also send us a text or a WhatsApp message on 070 317 56537. So let's start off with this one because this one will break my heart. Landlord is on the run after allegedly burning his tenant's shop. So this pharmacist had great loss after her landlord burnt her shop. According to the story, this man seems like a very, very cantankerous kind of person, always trying to make trouble, coming to her to tell her, what were you doing in my compound? You poured water here, there was water on the floor, those kind of conversations like that. And one day, her neighbors called her at about 1 a.m. to tell her that her pharmacy was on fire. She called the fire service, but unfortunately, her entire shop and her goods had been razed down before they arrived. Now, the landlord is nowhere to be found, though the police has stepped into the case. But now the police had they are informing this lady that 2 years ago, he had accused a tenant, that the landlord had accused a tenant of poisoning his water. So this man seemed like a very dramatic person. But how do you just think about it? You burn down someone's shop, money, resources, everything, someone's life. Like everything somebody has worked for, Buki.
It's a sad one, honestly.
It is.
And really, I pray that the lady has justice. But it looks as if the landlord has some mental issues, if the story is true. Because why would you just wake up one day and say somebody wants to poison your cup and all that? You open the door. I mean, does that mean that landlord is seeing some strange things? Or why would you now say it's your tenant who runs our own pharmacy shop? I mean, I saw the clip and I think beyond people are sick. And I think it's time for society to wake up to that responsibility, and let's help them. Because if truly this same landlord had accused another tenant of the same thing 2 years ago, I beg. But the law must take its course. If truly it was the one who burnt that thing, he's gonna pay.
He has to. Just has to.
He's gonna pay.
He has to pay.
He's gotta pay,
irrespective of his state or his mental state. You know, nobody drops from heaven.
True.
That man, I saw the video where initially he went to accuse her. Afterwards, it was allegedly the man who set the place ablaze.
Yeah.
So we're yet to, configure that properly, verify and all that.
And now he's on the run.
But then he is a prime suspect. I haven't said a lot of
Why is it running?
Yes.
I haven't said a lot of that. You see, now the question is whether I can get wife,
Okay.
in get picking,
Mm.
family members.
We don't know.
Are you getting it? So how come the whole place is quiet? It was the only one we were seeing.
No strange people come.
You understand?
He says,
You see, there are so many mental issues that could be underlying, and people are not noticing, or people don't pay
Attention.
They live
They
in
deny.
denial. Yes, because there's something they call schizophrenia.
Okay.
I remember there was this man who used to have something close to that.
Okay.
He was living in America. When he initially got to America, of course, when you go to a strange place, I mean, you're not going to easily find your feet. Even if you have family members there, you need to find a way around and all that. So at the end of the day, he was able to find his. I mean, he could find his own space, and he worked in a hotel, a 5-star hotel supposedly, and then he met with a lot of celebrities, and from there, America, they allow all this, we tip our bellboys, we tip this, we tip that, and he was such a pleasant person, so he made some money. He was living fine. He was living large in America.
Okay.
Then suddenly, I don't know what happened to him, and probably became schizophrenic, and then whatever, he found himself in Nigeria, and he would. Very brilliant guy, very intelligent, but when this thing, I think it falls in and out of it.
Oh, okay.
It's not a very steady thing. It comes and goes.
Okay.
It's there, but the way the symptoms are that occasionally the person will just.
So when he comes, he just
be in another world entirely. It will be telling you, "I be," how he was going to introduce me to, or mention all those big celebrities. It would, I should go to, so many things. And feeling so very sorry
for him.
And over the period, both locally and medically, I don't know what they did. It's much better. He doesn't say all those things again
Anymore.
So you see, he was lucky enough that his family members took it up.
Okay.
So when you see some people will say, this my daddy is too harsh. It can be sometimes maybe there's a mental issue somewhere locking, just coming, showing his, rearing himself gradually, and we just. There's bipolar.
Yeah, true.
There's so many of them that they're not like, you don't wait till you see a person all scattered on the road, naked, dirty. That's when you see that this one has a mental case. No, there are people who are actually living with mental issues. I mean, serious mental issues. Medically. It needs medical attention, but they don't even know it.
No.
For this man, whether it's a mental issue or not, when he was collecting the 6 million naira for the rent, he did not say, "No, don't pay me, enter free." His senses were intact. So in that same, he went there to go and accuse them bookie
of poisoning his pot and his
incontinence is a sign of enlarged prostate gland.
Okay,
you understand? So, and it is prevalent in older men. So probably that was what was wrong with him. He could have approached it medically, but you see, when people don't take anything to the doctor, they just assume any small thing na juju, na enemy, na village people. You understand? So we should begin to understand that it's not every issue that has to do with the devil.
All right. Thank you very much, Ibinabo. Yes, you can call us up on 07000 917 917 or 090 256 25455. And we are live on Facebook and YouTube at WFM 917. All right, Florence, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I feel so sorry for this young lady, the pharmacist, having put 6 million naira together for rent and stocking her shop, and everything just went up in flames. But then I'm wondering, in Lagos State, they have said people can only pay for 1 year. Why did she pay for 2 years? If she had paid for 1 year, that would have reduced her loss in some sense. That's number one. So I'm wondering why she paid for 2 years.
Maybe that was what the landlord insisted on.
Okay. Number two, we have always told we know that landlords do background checks on prospective tenants. They ask for this, ask for that. I think the time has come for tenants to also do background
Do checks. Yes.
Because if this lady had done the background check,
Somebody
she
would have told her
probably
that.
had years ago,
Mm.
this man manifested this issue. Of course, it's obvious from what we read that the man is having some mental issues. It could be bipolar disorder, it could be hallucination. You know, when you imagine what is not existing, it could be schizophrenia, whatever it is. He obviously needs help. But it's unfortunate that he has unleashed a big loss on this tenant. But you know one thing that came to my mind, Esther?
Okay.
You know, it's possible, high probability that it wasn't the landlord who bought that place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some crime stories don't end up with the prime suspect.
Mm.
You understand? So let's leave the enforcement agencies to do their work.
Okay.
It could be the man. There's a slight probability that he might not be the man.
The one.
Well, whoever did it has to pay. Because this young lady should not just, suffer for nothing.
All right, thank you very much, Florence. If you're just joining us, this is Panorama. Panorama is where we have the ladies from different geopolitical zones come together to discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues. Panorama is broadcast from Mondays through Fridays at 9:15 a.m. My name is Esther Alaribe, and it's 9:30 on Women Radio. Yes, Ibnabo, you were about to say something.
I was going to add to what we have all said, that we should always think insurance when we are putting up our businesses. Are you getting it?
Okay.
Because for such a huge business, I mean, for you to have to pay 3 million naira per annum. So how much is your net profit? Out of which you're going to remove 3 million. Out of which you're going to pay your staff.
Yeah.
And pay yourself and have some small savings for the company, so that if there's anything you can
fall back to that.
You understand? Begin to reason along, ignoring our concerns, like our businesses and all that. I hope that business was insured, because that's a lot of money.
I hope
you understand.
So.
Because if there is insurance, then yes, the police should investigate. Yes, everything should be done. The right thing should be done and everything. But then she would hold her peace a little, because insurance must take it up. You understand? So I just hope that, and it's an advice to everyone out there. I mean, you have this big job. Life is not all about profit.
Anything can happen. All right, so let's go over this one. Uniben students have staged a protest over a colleague who died allegedly due to medical negligence. So this student has passed on. He went to the school's teaching hospital for them to treat him, and according to this story here, he said even the doctor on duty refused to attend to him, saying he was tired, and this doctor plugged his earpiece on listening to music. This guy laid on the bare floor struggling for oxygen, and he later died. Then when the nurses were confronted, they lied that he was brought in dead. The student said even when they took him to the morgue, the attendants refused to embalm him, and they were asking for 5,000 naira until the student started protesting. And now it is so sad that this student is the only child of his mother who had plans of traveling abroad, but now his life had been cut short. So I'm going to take it from this route. A lot of times, you see non-academic staff in schools, medical personnel that work in teaching hospitals, health centers. See, those people be feeling like demigods. I've had my own fair share before. This doctor went on to tell me, if I treat you now, are you going to get well now? Calm down. These are your symptoms. Why are you acting like you're going to die? That day, I'm not just in good condition, so I could not just take normal me. I would have just carried myself, just leave, maybe probably go to a private hospital or something, just go get myself treated. But that day, I was just at the mercy of. So when I read this story, I was like, see, these people, they do this thing, and this guidance and counseling office too, they'll tell you, so this is the reason why you cannot concentrate. This is this. You're supposed to be empathetic when I can go on and on, because the fact that I've experienced this thing, I can actually understand what it feels like, Buki.
Yeah. When I read the piece of story, my initial reaction was, are you sure this is true? You understand? Are you sure? Because one, you're talking about students, you are talking about a university, teaching hospital. You're talking about the fact that this is even a student of the health, whatever, health management or whatever it is. He went to read. The library,
Like the student of medical science.
exactly. The library is close to the hospital, and they rushed him to emergency and accident, whatever. So for me is okay. Is this
First
am I
instincts.
am I am I in a dream world? But I totally agree. It's true. I know they would do their own investigation
They should.
and blah blah blah. Now the other party is saying that he was brought dead. It's okay. The students said they left this guy for 1 hour that he was acting up. And for me, when we talk about politics, it's not the way we actually practice it.
Okay.
I want it. For me, politics is, let us discuss on how we will manage ourselves.
Okay.
So aside from, I don't succumb to all these protests and all that, but I think it's good for the student body sit down and agree on the way forward. You understand? Reel out the policies and things like that.
Okay.
I mean, a life has gone, so there's nothing we can do, but way forward, because we do not want any other person to die.
Yes.
And then for me, hey, me, I will not even wait till some heads will have rolled. Even before I say, oh yeah, let me find out what happened, some heads will have rolled. Because one, looking at the Hippocratic law, or whatever it is, it says that because I had to go over it. It says, part of it says, I will remember that I do not treat a fever chart, a cancerous growth, but a sick human being whose illness may affect the person's family and economic stability. I mean, there are a lot, but I'm only looking at this, that they brought somebody, even if the guy was acting. Even if the guy was acting, you did not do anything, and you sought by this law to say, okay, let me just check. And then you're talking about NHIS. For goodness sake, it's an institution of learning. Yes, we expect them to carry their cards and things like that, but it is not all the time. Don't you have records?
It was even an emergency.
Exactly. Don't you have records? Are you not technologically enhanced to say, okay, let me just check what is the person's name?
Records.
You understand? Honestly, like I said, in fact, I think we need to advocate for the fact that for every, because we keep hearing these things, every this teaching hospital and even the private or whatever it is, let them put the number of the medical director, bagada. We do for all these drivers and all that, because you see, they could have called to say, hey, Mr. MD or medical director, your people are listening to music. You understand? Your people are listening, but I also think it has to do with the person. I remember my own experience. I don't know, I won't mention, and I don't know if they're still doing that standard.
Well, we don't know if
you understand. So I won't mention. But the issue was, it was so funny, though I was in pain. My first pregnancy, never want to listen to this. but this is where I'm going. I think it has to do with the people, who are in charge of that.
Okay.
So first pregnancy. So in fact, the baby's head was already coming out when we landed in the hospital. You understand? It's a government hospital, and there was no stretcher, in that place. So what did they do? I had to lie down on the floor. Hey, see wahala. When the matron and everybody saw it, hey, you want to kill me? You want to sack me? No, we don't do this. Before you know what was happening, they had brought in the stretcher and all that. And then the nurse that went with me, I overheard them, in my own pain. They said, but Ore, why would you do this? This is against that. Why would you bring and lay somebody on the floor? This is not wrong. Blah, 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 blah. So where am I going? I don't know if they do that. But for them to see a student lying on the floor for 1 hour, some heads will have rolled.
First, I don't even know how I'm going to react. But when I read this thing yesterday, I just flashed back to that. See, after that time, when I got better, because I later got admitted, when I got better, each time I see that doctor in my head, I'm like, okay. Whenever the doctor comes around, how are you feeling today? This in my face, I'm like, I'm doing well. Thank God I did not die.
And sorry to cut you in. I'm serious about those numbers. Lagos State, I give it to them. I actually thought those numbers are fake. But I tried it during that Bagada incident.
Oh, okay.
I called, they didn't pick. I sent a text. Almost immediately, they replied me. I replied again. I thought probably it was an auto response. I wanted to be sure.
Be sure that there was somebody responding.
And they said, they responded. It was a different message. I could see that I was talking to somebody.
Yes.
If it was around me that picked it, but the most important thing was that
somebody is manning that line.
Again, when there was an issue with Yanokwaja or something, it was a different. You could see that somebody.
The communication is
there.
different. It's not just an automated message.
Why I said it's true is the fact that somehow I now got to meet one of the commissioners. Personally, I checked. Okay. That was her number that was there.
No, all of Lagos State commissioners.
Okay.
I have a friend who is a commissioner.
It was her number.
And
so we should have
the number
they should put it there. The medical director.
It's not even the number of this person, this friend of mine who's a commissioner in Lagos State. Her number, the number that they put there as a number, is one of the numbers I have.
Yes.
Wow, I mean,
interesting. So even for me, it was a personal number.
Yes. So I haven't said all of that, Esther. Let me jump in here. You see,
jump in.
I want to say that. What is government doing? Because you see, like Madiba himself, Nelson Mandela said, the greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time you fall.
Yes.
Our government refused to rise. Because you see, whatever it is you are doing, until people begin to feel the impact, it's like you're not doing anything. I can't sit here and tell you that the government have not done anything. I can't say that. Okay. But what exactly have you done? What is the percentage of the impact you have put in place? Are you getting it?
Yes.
Because now this happened in Uniben. I've heard a lot of stories about UBTH. One shouldn't just fall ill. I haven't said that. You see, sometimes you can build, like people will say Nigeria is a geographical space. It is the people in Nigeria that are creating all this problem. Yes. Nigeria, God created Nigeria, fantastic, great, Ileolora. But the people in it, what are they doing? Now, these hospitals are there. Yeah. They can't, hospitals are structures. Now, I remember my mom in Port Harcourt when she there was a woman that was not always ill. She was always ill and healthy and everything. Then she started feeling not too well. So, of course, they just took her to the pharmacy and then... But it was like,
there's something else.
48 hours, she was, God, I want to become a doctor. The symptoms or whatever she was exhibiting was like,
what is going on?
So my nephew had to now quickly pick the car and rush her to the hospital. The next thing you will see was that she was throwing up blood. You understand? And everything. She was throwing up. It was like, kileleke. My nephew said, I can imagine a young man, a student. So he was just
be confused.
He took her to BMH in Port Harcourt.
Okay.
And it was like, help me. Hey, don't tell you along. Doctors need to understand the meaning of emergency and accident department. When they say emergency,
attend to it
there is
now.
Urgency now. Matter. So you must come immediately and assist. Even if it is a first aid, even if some
just do
words,
something.
And he said he's tired listening to me.
Very good thing.
Hey.
Do you know that my mother was left on the stretcher for some time? They were forming busy.
Everybody has something.
Everybody was busy being stupid. And then at the end of the day, a young guy just came to me. He went, please help me. It was this guy that took my mom. See, let us take her to the bed in the emergency. Let's look at her. Okay. The one that did all of these things, called the nurse, mandated the nurse to clean her up and everything. The doctor is still a friend of mine till date. Because, and there was like you said, there was a Dr. Esther that my nephew went to. It was like, look,
I'm busy. I have a lot to do.
You'll be forming a model. You'll be forming Naomi Campbell in the hospital.
We have allowed it, and we need to begin to demand.
What is the place of government? These stories are all out there. It cuts across all of the government hospitals.
Yeah.
Now, by the time You said you will scatter. I scatter. I was
Like, I'll be so dramatic.
By the time I flew down to port, I was looking for myself. At the end of the day, after my mother was stable and everything,
You see them coming around. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
Incidentally,
How are you doing?
This same doctor met me in another department. I was talking to somebody. Hello. Immediately, my nephew told me that's the doctor.
See.
I stopped her. Come. Are you a doctor? She said yes. I said you are not. You are not. If you were a doctor, the first thing you are taught is to have compassion and to save lives. My mother was brought here in a very critical condition, and you were brandishing nails all over the place. I told her to her face, and I said I'm going to make a report, and I did. And there were queries flying in, and because I did.
No.
At the end of the day, I know that BMH is a good hospital. They have fantastic doctors, but
just a few people here and there will just be the ones
of them who are feeling like I'm a messiah, I'm a demigod, I'm going to save you and let you die. I mean, they need to begin to give them queries, and the number of queries should determine whether you will use your license or not.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Ivina. But Florence, what do you think?
It's unfortunate that this young man had to die this way. It is one death too many. The only child of his mother. Even people who have 10 children,
they don't want to lose anyone.
Nobody prays to lose a child. So it's very, very heartbreaking. But what I find out here is, on a general basis, Nigerian employees have lost work ethics. When they don't have jobs, they complain they don't have jobs. When they get the job, they handle the job with negligence. They are nonchalant. And the cuts across, fuel attendants, shop attendants, medical people, you know. But the medical field is more interesting because it's a matter of life and death. You know, if it doesn't have to do with life, you can walk out of a filling station and go to the next filling station.
Yes.
But when you bring in a patient in a critical condition, it's a matter of life and death. And I want many of our medical practitioners, they are what Yoruba would call Odaju. Odaju, they don't have compassion. They are heartless. They are wicked. Just treat people as if they don't matter. And this case of UBCH, this is not the first time I'm reading about UBCH. And it's not even peculiar to UBCH. I've had stories about UI, I've had stories about IFSA, I've had stories about even private universities that students will be admitted out of negligence, the students will die. Even our secondary schools, sick days. Some schools will keep children in the sick day when they know they don't have enough resources, human and medical resources. They won't refer at the right time until the child dies. So at this stage, VCs of universities should take responsibility, because VCs should be the fathers and mothers of children, you know, that are under them. School heads should take responsibility. You don't sweep this kind of case under the carpet. It could be anybody's child. And it's so pathetic. It's very, very pathetic.
It is. It's a very, very sad story.
We should demand that the number of the medical director should be put there.
Yes.
No, it's true.
The numbers should be there.
When they know that you have the contact and you can reach out.
And they must speak these numbers, and punishments should be meted out to those who have erred. You cannot just, you can't.
And look at the mortuary asking for
5,000 naira before you deposit the body.
Student, excuse me. Can somebody rise up and take responsibility for this in Benin or wherever it is?
Everywhere, like I said, it cuts across all of these government hospitals. When you now come across a very nice nurse, it's like
really?
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 We still have angels.
Do you understand?
But that is the profession.
Okay, so a doctor said something one time. One of those doctors, this kind of doctors we are discussing, said, your case will not be the first now. Why are you acting like we've not seen this? So maybe they feel like they've seen issues like this, they've treated so many people, and it's not new, it's the same thing.
When it comes to medical profession, familiarity with concept does not hold.
Exactly. It does not apply here.
It doesn't apply. Because you see, there's some profession that demands for your passion, your compassion, everything. So if you don't have it, please excuse yourself. It's better to have just 2 doctors than to have 100 doctors that are
doing nothing.
You understand? And the government, what is the government doing? Are you getting it? Fine, they have issues. Issues are everywhere. Every sector has issues. But you know that you should. I had a story of a particular medical doctor, whether it
Okay.
was a fable or real. But
Okay.
somebody told me this story that a woman was rushed to the hospital,
Mm.
and it's like somebody living in Ikeja
Okay.
and another one living in Ikorodu.
Mm.
The hospital is in Ikeja, so you automatically assume that if you are in Ikorodu and there's some emergency, you should see a hospital in
Yes.
Ikorodu. You understand?
Mhm.
To attend to you. So his residence was very far from the hospital,
Mm.
and his wife was rushed him, and he didn't know that was his wife. There was an emergency, and he was busy whatever he was doing in his office, and the nurses were trying to do their bit, but they needed the doctor and everything, and the woman just collapsed, and then she went into coma or whatever. Hey, by the time he strolled out casually, like,
Found out
And
that
what is
he
going
got to know
on?
that was his wife.
and then you'll be
He
saying,
started running up and down,
oh,
shouting down on the nurses,
okay.
threatening. It's like,
Okay, because now your person now body
Oga.
they shake.
okay, why the sudden interest? We've been coming to you, tell you were busy, you were doing this, you were doing that. So sometimes, if you live in a glass house, please don't trust us.
Don't trust
You don't know
them.
what might happen. Please.
You know, even for me, the oath is so detailed. Honestly,
Very,
it's
very.
so detailed that
Very.
if you can swear to it,
Mm.
you will ensure that you are up on your game. You
Mm.
are up on your game.
Bookie, if you meet those who really have passion for the medical profession, you would love to be a medical personnel. There was an accident on one of these bridge on the island, and it was very ghastly. So a medical doctor, a young woman was going,
Just stop by to
she
help.
stopped by, and she went with the vehicle. She assisted in bringing out the
The victim.
victims, and went with them to the hospital. I think they said Luz.
Okay.
It was in the papers. It was a long time.
Just to be
They
sure that
got
this
there
person is
with
fine.
the police. When they got there, Luz started saying they did it. She was saying, "I'm a medical doctor." She gave them an ID card, and she told them that she was the one that raised the alarm for the rescue of these people. And they said they still need a police report. Okay,
Hey.
yeah, you will get it. But I'm still here. You will, but give them. I mean, just save them.
Do
first.
something
Yeah.
first.
So why she told them that? She now went out to go and look for the so that they can
Give
they could,
their
so
reports.
they had come. So you see, so many, the decadence.
There's
has
a lot.
eaten
There's a
so
lot.
deep
Well,
into the
my
fabric.
own is shine your eye for 2023, Sha.
Okay.
No, it's true.
Florence.
Yeah.
Hello, Florence.
Yeah,
Okay, so what will be your final words on the stories we've discussed this morning?
I want to zero in on the medical
Okay.
sector.
Okay.
In the past, it used to be a very humane sector. My mom is a nurse. She's retired now, 76 plus, but she functioned as a nurse midwife for a number of years, and she did her job with the whole of her heart. Many times she would not close at the right time, and she come back to tell us, "Oh, there was an emergency. I had to stay back." You know, there were times my mommy donated blood for people she did not know, and we'll be like, "Mommy, why did you do that?" She said, "I had to do it. I had to save that person's life." That was when nurses were nurses. We don't have that now. So if you don't have the spirit of compassion, if you are not a good-hearted person, you are not suitable to be in the medical field. So don't just go there and mess up that sector.
All right.
There's still a handful of good people around, though. We should not just,
Yes, we agree.
But
Yes.
we need that sector
And
to
we
be sanitized.
celebrate them.
We need that sector to be sanitized.
All right. Thank you very much, Florence, for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, do enjoy the weekend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. All right.
Bye, Florence.
Bye, Florence. All right. Even about your final words on this.
Okay.
This call coming, but we're out of time. Please ensure that you call us on time to make your contribution. But don't worry, you can join us again on Monday at 9:15 a.m. All right.
Okay, so
Ibinabo.
I want to quickly say that my niece is a nurse, and see all the gifts she had been given by patients. A woman wanted to take her to Dubai. Please, I need you in Dubai. No, I said we need you in Nigeria. However, at the end of the day, she's not in Nigeria, she's not in Dubai, she's in the UK. Okay, I will say a lot further. I want to look at the issue of landlord who does all of this. look for the best means to,
All right. Thank you very much, Ibnabo. Yes, book your final words and we'll call
Okay,
it a wrap.
yes. I would just talk to ourselves. Let's talk to ourselves.
Okay.
And for me, it's be that change you want.
Mm-hmm.
Be courageous to say, I want to make a difference. I want to make an impact. I take responsibility. So whatever you see that is wrong, wherever that you are, that you know that something is wrong, can you just take responsibility in your office, in the marketplace, wherever it is, in your school, whatever it is,
Just be
in the
proactive.
hospital? Yes, take responsibility. Be the change that you want. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me this morning.
Be the change that you want. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me this morning. Thank you. Do enjoy the weekend. And
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
As always.
Thank you. And let's have a beautiful
I
weekend.
can carry my handbag
So, all right, this is where we call it a wrap for Panorama this week. I feel like we should try. Just be human, just be nice. So you don't have to. The person doesn't have to be your cousin or your papa brother before you are empathetic to us. Be kind in your words and action. It doesn't cost anything. Your pocket no good tear. Whew, this is what we call it a wrap for the week on Panorama. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your call, even though we could not take them. Do well to join us again on Monday at 9:15 a.m. My name is Esther Alarabi. Good morning.
To sponsor this program, call the number 0816 480 7613. I didn't show myself what I'm holding with. I'm going to say you're holding with. Unlimited vibes, anything with it. My holding with it.